to Freethinkers Fireside, where we put the human and humanist one cozy chat at a time. My name's Helen, also known as Hell's Bells. So I gotta do some shilling, guys. It is con season, so we gotta shell the cons. All right, but first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna click on the QR code right over here. You're gonna click it. You're gonna click it. So nice. All right, you're gonna do that, right? And you're gonna satisfy it because you're gonna give money to Black non-believers, and you're gonna listen to me because I'm your bitch and you got to listen to your bitch. So go do it. Okay, moving on. Okay, so I'm going to play the new ad our friend Jess did. I don't know if these are in the correct order, but we'll find out together because the screens are black. Hold on a second. I think that's the correct one. Yes.
Helen, I don't know if you know this, but you're muted.
I did this last night when Jamie was here.
Hey, I feel you on that one. Sometimes I forget that I'm muted, like when I'm on AXP or something, and so like it gets me every time.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I went through a whole other spiel again. So anyway, so on for the live stream, John, I just got David Fitzgerald to agree to do it because he loves me. And I also asked Harold, who is an atheist activist within the military. And I'm trying to get other service members to join us to have that conversation on Memorial Day, which is at 5:30 p.m. Eastern to 7:30 p.m. Eastern over at this channel and over at Kelly at Detroit Atheist Queens channel and the Black Non-Believers YouTube channel. So you can, and how you enter, all you got to do is say, enter me in any of our comment section or the live chat, and we will be collecting. You get one entry. You can't go to all three to enter me, but get like 3 or 6. You get one. Okay. If you want to use a different account, it's fine, but it has to be its own name. Okay, guys? Cool. All right. And then you can come hang out with me and John. John, what are you going to be talking about at the revival?
I don't. It's a content creation, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to be talking about content creation. How to make content, I guess, and what makes good content, and maybe some of the common pitfalls of being a content creator. How not to suffer from burnout and stuff like that.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Since I'm almost a year and a half into making content, so it's probably get a little bit more of the lessons. So I'm excited to hear it. So it'll be good. I'm going to be on a panel talking about person we're on a queer and positive sexuality panel. So I'm going to be doing that and doing lots of filming. I mean, live streaming a lot of the talks and the events. And I think I may do the thing that you're going to do, like special access.
Oh, okay.
Your special performance that you're going to do. I'm just going to hint at it, but you know, it's coming, guys. That might be a special access where you have to give special donations to see.
Yeah.
So that's how you make the money.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for people in this space that may not know you, who are you besides the godfather of atheism?
So I'm the Godless Engineer. I've been a content creator for well over, what is it now? 12 plus years, probably right around 14 years, maybe. Yeah, 14 years. In the, the atheist, creator space. And, I've seen a lot of shit, and over there on my YouTube channel, I've kind of cultivated a channel that's sort of spanning across the atheist genre, I guess, or the demographic is what I mean to say, the atheist demographic. Because with the atheist demographic, you've got several different people in different verticals. You've got, people that are really, interested in the historical nature of the Bible or of religions in general, and then you've got the more scientifically minded people, and you've got more philosophically minded people. So I've kind of had to weave myself a little bit into each one of those verticals in the demographic. And over there on my channel, like I focus on a good mixture of all of those together. And so I've tried to cultivate that kind of community over there, and I think that we're doing pretty well.
I think that's great. You're very like your content is very much geared toward argumentative but educational style. Like you have a lot of education on your channel about the Bible and apologetics, and
Mm-hmm.
what like last time you were here, we were talking about mysticism. So in relation to the Bible, not like mysticism, like like magic or something. Well, it is magic. Like if you believe people can rise from the dead, it's magic. So anyway, so but that's what I think, that we each have the things that we know we're good at. We've discovered what like this niche is, and this community. And the unfortunate thing is is that we might have content creators that we really like. We might have content creators that we perceive as good people, and then they do something that we may not agree with, or they get something wrong. Like even if they get like a couple of basic facts wrong, and they won't admit to it and own up to it, or they make a persuasive argument to make a person believe them, instead of when evidence and counter arguments are being offered. The sunk cost fallacy. And
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Do you think that adds to how do you think that adds to the skeptical thinking?
Well, I think that a lot of times people in our community correctly engage critical thinking skills. Like they don't just automatically jump onto something. But then I think that there are certain situations where people form like sort of these little cults of personality, and it turns from I really like this creator into sort of like an unhealthy veneration of one of the figures. Like that there's nothing that they can do is wrong, and even when they are wrong, they can quickly come up with reasons as to why to excuse it or just totally ignore it, so that they maintain their sort of veneration of that figure. And
Sorry.
I wonder, is KC sub to Godless Engineer? I don't know.
I don't know. You tell me what you do on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
You roll out the
But
carpet. I'm gonna step on it. So anyway, go ahead.
I think that skeptical people in our particular community, our demographic, I think that they're sometimes just as susceptible to these cults of personalities or this illogical thinking. To where people can convince them to forego their basic critical thinking faculties and really just I guess keep the narrative, because like
Right.
either the narrative works for their own personal means or they personally like the narrative that's being spun, and that narrative may or may not include that centralized figure, but it seems to be like people love to hang on to these kinds of narratives that already match their preconceived notion of things, and it seems to be hard to get people like knocked out of that. And it's similar to how religious cults work, I think, in
Mm-hmm.
that it's really hard to knock somebody out of that when they're so easily able to just forego, their basic critical thinking faculties that they would otherwise be able to clock, like bad arguments or
See?
um,
Now I know what you do on a Saturday night. Okay, go ahead.
um, but I think that it's really hard to knock people out of that, to get them to think outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it takes some kind of shock. Like I really do think that it's some kind of shock to the system that causes them to like rethink things. And I mean, like I was in a very similar way. I was shocked out of religious belief. Like I had somebody, challenge me on what I believed and why I believed it, and it was kind of a sort of not as much as a shock as maybe some people need, but it was a shock to the system. And I've heard other people describe similar shocks, to their system, whether it be argumentation that's so obviously bad it just sort of hits them in the face, or just maybe a quick realization that oh, I might
I
be
need to
wrong
go
about
in
this.
one moment because I can hear some drumming. I
Okay.
think my family's listening to some drumming stuff, and my door's open, so I'm going to go close the door. I'm listening to good
Okay.
drumming. Come on, baby. Are you going to see what Mama? Okay. I think it's hypocrisy. I think.
Yeah.
We listen to a lot of like Norwegian death metal and like melodic death metal, which is really good. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I call it angry penis music for pretty. Like I call Tori Amos like Alanis Morissette like sad vagina music, but pretty. Those are the genres,
um,
guys.
but yeah,
Going.
so I think that the succumbing to the bad, like the foregoing of the critical thinking skills, I think that that's just something about human nature. I think that people like to hold on to narratives, they like to hold on to things that they're familiar with, and maybe even a little bit some things they want to be true. And I know I get regularly accused of that. It's like, well, you want this to be true, so therefore it is. Now, normally this is like religious folk that are like, oh, you want God to demand sacrifice, or you want God to not exist, and so therefore you make it that way. And I mean, maybe there are some people out there that are like that in the atheist community, but like I feel like you are engaging your critical thinking skills, then if somebody challenges you about that, then you'll just sit there and maybe not right then, but you'll actually critically consider it. Like, am I just wanting to believe this? And I know I've done that with God on several occasions. Whenever somebody has like challenged me about it, like you just
Mhm.
don't want God to be true, and in the moment I'm like, that's not true. But I give it some deep thought. It's like, do I not want God to be
Right.
true? And I mean, I genuinely have no emotion, like no emotional entanglement with the idea of God whatsoever.
Mhm.
And so it's like, that reevaluation is just like, yep, I still don't give a shit, kind of thing. But I think that
Oh,
people can, have other emotional entanglements to narratives that they just simply want to be true. Like they don't want their favorite creator that is espousing their favorite argument to be wrong about that argument, right? So they're going to defend that to the core because they not only identify with the creator, but they also identify with the narrative that's being spun by the creator. And then, I don't even think that necessarily, like, it can be sort of like a phantom thing, something that doesn't even exist, but, maybe somebody has sort of manifested for people, a big boogeyman kind of thing, right? And I think that people latch on to the narrative that's spun around by that. And it's like they want that narrative to be true so bad that they just will make any excuse for any information, like including just completely doing a 180 on the opposition, and completely gaslighting them and turning anything said into some kind of negative statement, right? That plays into the narrative. I think that both of those, are big factors in this foregoing of critical thinking.
yeah, and I think there's a definite. I think there's a little bit of annoyance in that because, like, obviously we are social creature. Did you watch the stream I did with Maya yesterday?
The stream you did with Maya, I don't think I caught that one. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
So I did with Maya and Ember, and what I've been really want to talk about is like these parasocial relationships and how they can you may not realize it because you think you're in a skeptical space, that you can still have distortions of thinking and think that the alignment to a creator is deeper than it is. And like depending on level, okay, but if it gets to a point where this person is objectively wrong, and you're doubling down over and over again, and you excuse it, you say, well, the other side hasn't convinced me. I'm like, okay, I'm like, yeah, but when someone's using insults, we've lost the plot now. So it's one of those things. Like, but I think that's, but also the other side, it's the what you were just saying before. It's a belief. It's this person has to be a good person. Like it has to be true, just like believing in a god, or believing in Spider-Man. I don't know, or believing the Earth is flat. I was like, okay, guys, let's take a hitch back, man. Like if someone is objectively wrong and they have to defend it for several hours. Again, you have lost the plot.
Yeah, and I think that the toughest part there is when you have the information and you have the data on your side, and it seems to not matter, and that's the most frustrating part about that. Like you can have all of the information that comports with reality, objectively. You can even base it in like something really hard and solid like mathematics or something like that. Like you can develop whatever you want to in order to prove the other person wrong, right? And the cult of personality that's out there, the crowd that doesn't want you to be right, will somehow make it not correct in their brain. And this is part of that whole compartmentalization thing that's primarily, I guess I say primarily, I guess in our particular demographic, it's primarily implemented by religion and, cults in
Right.
general. But the compartmentalization, being able to segment your brain off into critical thinking skills and then adhering to this narrative, I think that that is just a human sort of experience there. I mean, and I think that current events that everybody I'm sure is aware of can speak to that. Can speak to the fact that you know skeptical people are not immune from this compartmentalization into, separating their critical thinking skills out from, from the narrative that they want to be true. And I really think that psychological need, that drive for a narrative or a certain creator to not be wrong or to be
Mm-hmm.
true, I think that it's that emotional entanglement that really kind of defines that, because I feel like, once people can detangle it from their emotions, they can objectively look at the data and they can come to like a better like conclusion. But the tough part is detangling that emotional their emotions from, whatever thing that they're latching onto. And I mean, I've experienced that a little bit, I guess. Like, there have
Right.
been times where I have made an argument and I just really don't want that argument to be wrong. But it's like, I feel like I've trained myself well enough over the past 14 years to do my best to detangle my emotions from either the narrative or the argument, the conclusion, or
Mm-hmm.
even in some cases from some people, and take an objective look, at it. Take a step back and look at it from, an outside source, and with a detangled sort of emotional state, and just come to an honest conclusion about it. And I think that is a skill that's incredibly lacking in our community right now, is this ability to detangle our emotions from certain either people, narratives, or situations. Detangle it and analyze the data from there. I think that's really difficult for some people.
I think also too that like I don't know what it is. Like I don't know, like for example, I I love Neil Gaiman. I loved him. He was one of my favorite authors. I all through my teenage years, my 20s, like a little goth Helen. Yes, that was my dude. And then I found out he was a piece of shit, and I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to, but I was like, ooh, a lot of, there's a few women coming forward, or there, I've heard the story before. Oh, it sounds like the same sort of thing. Sounds like a Josh Whedon situation. Oh my God. And then you find out that he is a sexual abuser, and you're like, holy fuck, and my heart was broken but I still watched Good Omens season 3 last night, and I had a good time because I still love that story. And so I will not apologize for that. But I'm never going to buy one of his books again. This is probably the last series I'll watch. Because David Tennant was in it, and he is my boyfriend in my brain. so, so I had it was so good with Michael Sheen. Oh, anyway, sorry, I'm having a moment. Okay, but like but like there's always that little taint there, like someone I very much admired, very much was like I kind of like had a parasocial relationship with him. I was like, oh, like yay, braingasms. But then I found out you're garbage, and how do I separate that from these these characters in an actual community of people, like a bunch of weirdos like me, love? Seeming like the Harry Potter shit. Like how do you
Mm-hmm.
separate the awfulness of the author
Yeah,
from the thing that you love that they created? And that's kind of here. you
yeah.
know?
And I mean, I feel like you could probably apply this to something like the Harry Potter series, because I feel like that there are a lot of people out there that are a fan of the story that's been crafted by J.K. Rowling, but like J.K. Rowling is a piece of shit. And I think that, over the years, you've been
Mhm.
able to, determine, people that are infatuated with the Harry Potter series have been able to separate out like the author from the work in that respect. Although the work has a lot of issues. Like, I mean, if we're being
Well,
honest about this.
the thing is, though, is that if you really love something, you are open to critique it. it can be both. Like
Mm-hmm.
I live with my kid is my oldest is non-binary and my roommate is non-binary, and we have so much Harry Potter shit in this house. Like my oldest, their best friend and their dad made them this really nice wand holder. So, and it was a gift that was handcrafted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and we have jokes, but also too, like when we watch the movies and we talk about the series, we're very quick to point out all the problems. But kind of makes you love it more, because then you dissect it and you're like, wait a second, JK, wait a second. You create a bunch of series where a bunch of people like us are gonna look back on it and go, what? What, JK?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like I said, I think that that particular crowd has been exercised on being able to separate out those kinds of things, being able to love the narrative spun by a bigot in that particular respect, and because they can stand by themselves, and I think that that's a pretty good example of being able to do that, and so. I mean, I would think that if the Harry Potter series contained like over transphobic, homophobic sort of themes and everything like that, I think that it would be easy to just be able to put that down. I mean, I guess maybe that's less of an emotional sort of tie in there, because I mean there are people that are emotionally tied to stories and everything, and
But
but I think that. Sorry, go ahead.
okay, no, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna finish up, kind of land the plane with, that's kind of maybe a softer sort of analysis of it, but I mean, I think that any of those kinds of situations should be looked at in the light of critical thinking, because like it takes a critical mind to be able to be like, yeah, J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit, but I also really like the story and how it's laid out and everything like that, even though it has some issues with it.
Well, I think that, and we have to do that because everything's going to have problems. Like, but what do we do? Do we not critique it? Do we hold it as like this precious, like the Bible? Do we hold it as like this, like your pop culture Bible? Okay, like like
Hmm.
Superman can't hang out with Spider Man. I'm like, why? I'm like, why can't there be crossovers? Like, cool your jets. Calm down. You DC and Marvel can mingle. It's fine. Okay. I'm like, comic books are full of plot holes. Just let it go, guys. That's fine. Okay. But like if you're so on the DC side that the idea of Spider-Man having sex with like, Batman kind of blows your brain. And I'm like, listen, you need to go on pivot.net. One. Like two, it's just like this is not the type of things we worry about. Okay, we worry about how these things are perceived by different people of that group. Okay, and you
Hmm.
listen to the effect it has on them, and you take that into consideration, and you apply it to the things that you care about, that you grew up with and you have nostalgia for. It's like, yeah, you can love that, but also realize at the same time it was created by a piece of shit. It can be
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that we can apply this to, our atheist and skeptical community here, in that, you can, be persuaded by a narrative, and be persuaded by a position or anything like that. And, I get that maybe you really want it to be true, but if I feel like people, and I don't know how to get this through to some people out there, is really just that taking a step back, detangling that emotion that you have for it, and being able to critically look at it, because like you could take a critical look at the position, or the narrative, or whatever you're really holding on to, and you can identify like, yeah, this guy's kind of a piece of shit, but the data does support this narrative, or the data doesn't support this narrative, and you can be honest about that. And just because you really wanted it to be true and it's not true, yeah, that's disappointing, it's sad, but I decided long ago, like when I deconverted from Christianity,
Mm-hmm.
I decided that, I was not going to just sit there and simply believe things because I wanted them to be true or because they were easy to believe or anything like that. I really wanted my worldview to comport with reality. And I think that a lot of people out there want to do that, but at the same time, I feel like they have this internal struggle with something that they want to be true and they latch on to it. And it just takes a whole hell of a lot to get them to like decouple from it and really step outside of that.
I think that it's one of those things when you grow up in religion is that you're the rescuer. I don't like make me like this world is too chaotic. Like well, I was taught to believe all victims
Mm-hmm.
all the time. And I'm like, ooh. And even me as a survivor, I'm like, ooh, problem. Problem. Because it delegitimizes the true ones. That is why we don't lie about this, guys. And that's a problem. That's a very, very, very big problem. So, if we're not applying the skeptic brain, which if John hadn't done, I hadn't done, and all of the people that we care about hadn't done, somebody would be in a heap of shit right now. And could we live with ourselves if we found out later we should have followed the evidence? That's
Yeah.
how that works.
Well, and I think that I'm partial to Bayesian reasoning. Anybody that knows me, I'm a mythicist, minimal mythicist, and that relies on Bayesian reasoning. But and I mean Bayesian reasoning in a very colloquial sense, because essentially what Bayesian reasoning is that you have this you have this sort of prior likelihood in mind that something happened or some narrative is true or something like that, right? So like the instance that you're talking about here, it's like, what do women lie about, sexual assault or anything like that? It's like generally no. And so you've got that prior likelihood, and then you start adding in the evidence. And so, like, sure, you've got, this evidence, that evidence, or whatnot. But once that evidence starts to tip in the other direction, so, like, so incredibly, in the way of the exact opposite direction, I mean, I do think that you do have to call zebra at some point, right? And when I say zebra, it's like when you hear hoofbeats behind you, you should think horses and not zebras, right? Because a
Right.
zebra is the least likely thing. So, like, I think that though, as soon as you have enough evidence to be like, no, yes, that's a fucking zebra,
Right.
then you should probably hedge your bets on zebra. It's like, oh well, maybe that's just a horse that's painted with black stripes. It's like you're stretching it there, right?
Believe victims means believe them enough to investigate, then let the evidence lead you to your conclusions. See?
Yeah.
See
See,
how
I think
simple
that
that is? See how simple? See how that is? That's all you need. And the problem is that we want the justice system to do the right thing, right?
mhm.
So if the justice system is doing the right thing, you can't throw whataboutisms in there. You can't say one thing is the other. Is because like, wouldn't you want the person? There was enough evidence and there was enough people going absolutely fucking not that they were like, okay, well, and they just did a simple investigation and we were all ready to be like, look at all the evidence, look at all we got it all. But it's here now. And people are still like, no, no, no. And I'm like, listen, y'all, listen. I know. You're like, yes, this is my new Jesus. Yes, I want to believe in Jesus. But guess what, honey? Jesus is a lie. Telling you, it's a lie. Stop moving your deities around.
Yeah. And I think that something that said Bree Badger there in the comments. It says, but yeah, you believe victims when they say something happened, and that means properly investigating. And I think that is the thing that people need to understand is like, when you do, like, on a personal level, like on not like, I mean, obviously on a systemic level, like investigations, definitely yes. But on a personal level, as far as investigating things yourself, I think that you have to keep some kind of internal tracker on you, right? Like, just in the back of your mind, just an internal tracker. Like, yeah, well, this was said, that was said, but that doesn't exactly coincide with all these other things. Like, all these other things make this one thing highly unlikely that this actually happened. So, until we can clear up these other things, right? Maybe we should be a bit skeptical about this. And I think that not a lot of people, some people in some groups out there, not naming specific ones, need to engage their critical thinking skills.
It's the drummers, John.
So yeah. But engage their
drummers now. That's their code. That's the code.
Yeah. But engage their critical thinking skills, be able to decouple themselves emotionally from the situation, which may be difficult to do at times. But, I think being able to decouple yourself and being able to ask yourself the hard questions to be able to explain, like, evidence A, evidence B, and everything like that, that actually works against the narrative that you so desperately want to be true. I think that people need to exercise that more. I think that they need to exercise the ability to not be so emotionally entangled in certain positions, certain people, certain narratives that are being spun. I think that if they can do that decoupling, that is going to be the only way. And I think that the only way to get through to them is after they've decoupled their emotions. They have to be the ones to do that. And if they're not willing to, I'm not going to say don't continue trying to reach them, but I would correctly, what word am I looking for here? I would definitely correctly adjust your expectations for what to expect. So, like, if somebody out there is so helplessly emotionally entangled on a narrative that they're not, like, they go so far as to, like, do some weird pretzeling and gaslighting in order to turn, like, evidence against their narrative into evidence for their narrative. If they're going to be doing that, then the only thing that you can do is just keep repeating the same information until it lands, because that's what I have to do all the time with apologists, with religious people out in the crowd, with religious people that call me on the phone. Every single call most certainly is going to be beating a dead horse every single time, because these are questions that I've fielded for the past 10 years. Every single one of them is one that I've encountered. And I can't tell you the amount of times I've laughed internally and I've had to stifle it, like, from even trying to show it on my face. When somebody's like, have you heard of the transcendental argument for God? Or, like, have you heard of the argument from design? Have you heard that yet? It's
No,
at
I
the
haven't heard
point.
that.
Yeah. It's at the point where if somebody asks me that, I'm like, no, I haven't. Like, what? I've never
Please
heard that
explain this to
before.
me. Let
Yeah.
me know.
I've I've been an atheist for, like, damn near 16 years or so. What is this argument from design?
Like the thing with you is the dumb, like it's the toe before atheism. Like you believe in the scientific world, okay? Like you're like, okay, like I believe in solid science, like nature's real. I can prove that. I can prove nature's real. Cool. Let's do paganism because, like, I can prove that's real. There must be something spiritual connected to that. Nope. Then you start believing in psychics, and then you're like, maybe there's something special over here. Nope. Nothing. It's nothing, guys. I'm really sorry. Like, it would be really cool. Like, listen, I want to live in a world where there's no, I do not want to live in. If I had to live in the world as an X-Men, as a normal person, like this bitch, where I got Wolverine running around in my backyard. Fuck that. Like, I don't live in that world. It's gonna be too much weird shit. But
Well, and I'm just now thinking, like, of a somewhat neutral sort of example that I can give as to, like, on the one hand being emotionally entangled to like an argument narrative or a person, and then exercising that ability to emotionally step away from
Feeling
it.
hard to be impartial when you're close to the people involved, reasonably so.
It is hard to be impartial, and it definitely does take like practice, right? Like, and I don't just mean practice in the personal relationships, like with people or anything like that, but like you can practice these things with positions that you currently have, being able to like step outside of that position, step out of that narrative, detangle it, recognize. First of all, I think is recognizing that you're emotionally entangled in some kind of argument or something, or narrative or person, right? Recognizing that you're emotionally entangled, and then detangling yourself and looking at the
I
evidence and seeing where it comes out. And
just
just to give like a sorry, go
you
ahead.
make me think of a quote from The Good Place. It's like it sounds crazy, but if you think of like but if I'm crazy, it's not a leap of faith. It is a bit a bit of sitting with doubt.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, like I can't like it could go either way. I have to just make a decision, and you're hoping that you have enough evidence that if you're sitting in that place of something doesn't feel right, like this is
Mm-hmm.
going against something in my moral center as a good person. Like this place like used to feel safe. If you're sitting in that, then that doubt, like I'm doubting, and then you have to leap, you have to move. It's the shifting, and hope it works out for the best. Like even atheists do this. We have
Mm-hmm.
to, because the world is uncertain. Like there's nobody driving the car but us, and we have wonderful support. But guess what? It's really up for me to, like, John's not going to drive my car. My husband doesn't drive my car. Like I have to drive my own car. I have all the tools. So use them. And it's hard. It's so hard, guys. I know it's hard. Trust me, I've had to let go of so much shit that I loved. Guess what? And I'm like, it doesn't make me a martyr. Doesn't make me a good person if you're believing someone that's spreading not just this, just horrible things about vulnerable groups. And right now the world's on fire. Let's all calm down, please. Get a fucking adult in the room. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't want to be the adult. Why do I have to be responsible? Stupid moral code.
Well, another one thing before I get to my personal anecdote about this, I do want to highlight Detroit Atheist Queen in the comments there, about the one about the Harry Potter, the comment there about the Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and one of the Harry Potter movies, I forget stuff, but one of the Weasley twins dated a black girl, and next thing she was white, and I wanted to point that out because
Oh, yeah.
this is
They did change their. Shame on you, Warner
yeah
Brothers. But you're
yeah
but I'm like, at least you're on brand.
yeah. Well, so I mean this is actually a common. It seems to be becoming more common. This kind of like a reaction. I mean, this is obviously from the production company or whatnot, or whoever makes those kind of decisions for the movies. Very, very obviously, it came from that. But I think that it has deeper roots in society in general, and this whole whitewashing thing. Because if you think about it, it's the exact same thing when it comes to like the Little Mermaid live adaptation, right? People were so pissed off that a black girl was selected to be the Little Mermaid, Ariel. And it's like, why is everybody like pissed off
Why
about
y'all
this?
losing your shit, guys?
Why are all these people so emotionally entangled with a
A
teenage
mermaid
white girl? Yeah.
with a mermaid.
A mermaid in a
I
fictional,
half a
fantastical,
fish. Would
magical
you be
tale.
listen? Hold on. Would you be complaining if like the top part was the fish and the bottom part was the legs, and you have white legs over black legs? Like let's think about this for 2 seconds. What are you doing?
I like. Did you ever see? I don't know if you've ever watched Futurama, but Futurama had this one episode where it took place in the city of Atlanta, but it's
Mhm.
like Atlanta had sunk beneath the sea, right? So is Atlantis, right? And so it was hick hillbilly mermaids that lived in Atlanta, right? And so like it
I
goes throughout.
I haven't seen that episode. It's been a long time since I watched Futurama. Like I've seen a few episodes here and
Yeah,
there, like I know the humor enough that like I feel like I watched the series because I've seen so many of the clips. And I have a Zoidberg like Cthulhu mask my friend got me for my birthday one year, and
yeah.
it's red and I wear it, and then I think I pretend I'm Zoidberg.
Uh, but you talking about like what if the mermaid was like inverted as far
Yeah.
as like fish and human kind of thing, and like I thought it was so funny that in that episode like they go through this entire love arc between Fry and one of the mermaids, right? And it gets to the end and it's like it throws some realism into it. And I think that's what makes it hilarious, because the realism part is that like that they would the way that they sexually reproduce was very similar to how fish sexually reproduce, especially like I think that it was like seahorses or something, but no, but
Which
essentially
would make
the
sense if you think
yeah
about it, like because like they because they need the like they need the father to carry the embryos around,
yeah
so and I'm like, that's kind of male pregnancy, guys. Oh no.
but in the show, I think like the girl explains it to Fry like, I'm gonna lay eggs and then you're gonna spread your seed all over them and then I'm gonna leave and you're gonna take care of them. And so Fry just gets up, leaves, and just walks out and
Oh
everything like that.
no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Um. Sorry, that was a
Well,
really
like, have
quick.
you seen the lighthouse?
The lighthouse. I'm not sure.
It's a Robert Eggers film. It's with Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
I don't think I have.
You need to see this movie. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm just gonna say Robert Pattinson has sex with a mermaid. And I'm just going
What?
so I'm just gonna and it is a trippy movie, and it's the most wonderful, like weird. If you like weird movies, if you like existential weird movies, and this is my favorite horror director. Like I love this man so much. He did he did the Witch in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
I mean 2016, 2026, 2016. Oh my goodness. And I grew up in New England.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I grew up in New Hampshire, and he grew up 20 minutes in Exeter from where I grew up. And we grew up with Puritan stories, and the Puritan story of the witch. There was a lot of witch stories. And the witch that we learned was like, that's where you get like like the witch, grinding up baby fat and rubbing
Mm-hmm.
it on a besom to fly. Like this is the horror of our little imaginations when we were growing up in New England, because it was carried over from the Puritans. And that's why we have all these weird myths about them. And it felt like a memory. Like I was in that place and I was in that time. And it's very biblical, because he takes the things that are in the mythology of the Bible that people really believed, and brings it on screen. And how fucking fucked up would that be? And it also goes into gender politics, and like this guy, he did the recent remake of Nosferatu, and
Oh,
he's going to be
okay.
doing a sequel to Labyrinth, which I am going to lose my mind. It is so going to be a horror nightmare, and I love it because that movie's a horror. If like even objectively, like that girl is one going through a sexual awakening and two tripping balls. Like you talk basement after Toby went to bed. Like, then David Bowie came up and sang a song, and it's like, woo, flood the basement.
um, but getting back to what I was getting at a second
Sorry,
ago.
I'm sorry. All roads lead to sex. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I think that people being so emotionally entangled to the white representation in Little Mermaid, as well as in very obviously in the Harry Potter movies, and I don't know, there was another Harry Potter thing where I believe is it the TV show that maybe recasts I think Hermione as
It
a
was the
black girl.
play, which I didn't
Was
really
it the play?
mind, because she wasn't described as a race.
Right.
Like they never mentioned her. They just said she had bushy hair, and she had like it was very abstract features, but like that you can apply to anybody. So and they just that so they did it for the Lost Child, which I have a story about that. That's a different conversation. I'll tell it to you at the if I remember, I'll tell you to see you later. Anyway, so
Okay.
moving on. But now the problem is in the new TV show they're going to do, because they're holding on to this fucking franchise as it like drains out of their fingers because we're all like, no, they made Snape black.
Yeah.
And that's
That's a
a
good point. Yeah.
very big problem. So
Apparently.
many problems right there. So many.
But I
And I'm
think
like,
that
sorry,
this.
Alan Rickman, you just can't. Can't do it.
I think that the deep emotional entanglement to like the race of a character or anything like that, I think that that's indicative of this entanglement that I'm talking about here, because it's like why, like I'm not emotionally invested in the race of certain characters. Now if you're so the
Yes,
times in which I would
yes,
have huh?
yes, it did. Yes, it did. It's a
Yeah.
very, which is also a really good movie. I love Del Toro. His new Frankenstein, goth dream. It's a goth dream come alive. It's so great. It's like goth universe. Like if I want to be a goth hobbit. that's my that's my goal. Anyway, go ahead.
um but the times when I think the race situation matters, not that I'm necessarily entangled, like emotionally entangled in it, right? It's from a much more objective point of view, and that's the one that comes to mind right now is when.
Yeah, Bree. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and how he's described in the book, which is vaguely Jewish and vaguely like you could take it either way to be a asshole.
Hmm.
If you're not thinking about this very carefully, people, this is not progressive. Like I don't know. Like I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, do I watch it? Do I not watch it? Because then you're in that moral conundrum. Because like this person's choosing to play this role. They don't
Hmm.
have to. So what does that say? So then it gets weird. This is where it gets weird, guys. Like now we're seeing real world impacts where like when we were debating philosophy about like J.K. Rowling being a piece of shit, at least we weren't like now seeing it like really, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? This is not progressive. I am sorry. Please don't do this. I know what I wanted. I wanted like when Harry's dad, like I wanted the Marauders when they were back in Hogwarts, when they were just like a four, little motherfuckers that helped their friend like survive like junior high school because he turned into a fucking werewolf and he was yeah, yeah, he gets a little angry, like let's keep him here. So like, okay, we just make sure he's okay, safe place. You're not alone. It's like when someone has a mental illness, you stay with them, because they didn't have, a way to care for them. And like, okay, like this is how we help our friend,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's okay the rest of the year. And we're going to, change an animal so he doesn't feel alone and he doesn't feel that he's ostracized and he's weird, and I would really like to see that story because it's not attached to JK. It is because she didn't write a lot of backstory for them. You can make whatever you
Right.
want. You can do that. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, so I guess the point that I was trying to make is that the times in which the race of the actor that's portraying somebody matters is when, like, we're talking about either a traditionally, a story that is like traditionally, I guess maybe one certain race, or maybe it's like a historical narrative that's trying to portray somebody as a race. So, like, for instance, John Wayne once played Genghis Khan in a movie, and it's like, yeah, that's fucking whitewashing and everything. So, like, I think that you
He's
can
a
correct,
he was a
huh?
terrible person.
Oh yeah, he was.
John Wayne was a terrible, terrible person. Terrible.
Yeah, he was.
Wife beater. Would
Oh yeah, he was a
mess
piece of shit.
actors would mess up her lines, and he had been drinking. He would just hit her.
Damn.
That
Yeah,
type
it
of
doesn't surprise me.
person.
But I think that you can be emotionally decoupled and criticize like the an actor that's like cast that's not an appropriate race, right? But when we're talking about fantasy novels or
But
we're
it just
talking
kind of
about
shows the skills right
fictional
there.
narratives,
Yes, you were a piece of shit, but also you played Genghis Khan. So that's kind of like, ooh. Telling on yourself. It's kind of like he's telling on himself.
yeah,
Like, because Genghis Khan was not a good person either. So it's kind of like, are you telling on yourself? Because I think you're kind of telling on yourself. Like, I'm saying, like, of all the people like, wouldn't it be cool to play, like, maybe, someone from the past that, like, advanced, like, medicine, but then you would, but from maybe, where your ancestors were from. That'd be cool. Like, but and that's what people want to see. They want to see themselves reflected within society throughout time. And the thing is that when you do the whitewashing or you attach these ambiguous traits, like, he shows up, it shows that he's the good guy. And I'm like, well, what are you saying about that? Because that's another conversation we should have, like, only if it serves the hero. Like, let's think about this.
yeah,
It gets complicated. I think I have too many. I philosophize. You know how you're talking about your spheres? I think it's the
yeah.
psychology brain. I just philosophize way too much because I overthink.
You're totally fine. But I think that you can.
I had a lot of fun. I love you.
So I think that you can take a step back and be unemotional about the criticism of yeah. But I think that you can be unemotional about criticizing like that kind of thing, and but it be based on good data, right? As opposed to like
That's why you're allowed to make fun of Hitler. It's
yeah.
Nazis flat. Everybody can make fun of Nazis, guys. It's free reign because you're the worst, like the worst people, and also people that adopt your values and use them against other when you're punching down, guys. You've lost the game. I am sorry. Oh my God, this is why you're the worst. Doesn't have to be a white person to be a Nazi. Just saying.
Yeah. And so I guess just my main point in all of this is that the major work, I guess, is in trying to get people to decouple, emotionally decouple from certain narratives, certain people, certain positions. Oh yeah, my personal anecdote. So I just just a quick thing here about being able to decouple yourself emotionally from something. In this particular case, it's an argument that I was making. It was talking about Numbers 31. I guess I was convinced initially that that there were some of the girls that were sent to the temples or given to the temples were actually sacrificed. Like that's a form of sacrifice that they were talking about there. And I got pushback on it, right? And of course, in the moment, I was like, I held my own, and I'm like, nope, this is definitely about this right here is definitely about child sacrifice. Okay, I get that you don't want it to be, but it's not. And of course, the person was disagreeing with me, and so in the moment, I was pretty dead set that I was right. But after that moment passed, I was able to go back and really rethink. I'm like, am I right about that? And sort of decouple myself. I was out of the moment, so it was easier for me to decouple myself from, my the argument that I was making. And I was able to take an honest, data-driven look at it, right? And by data-driven, I mean I looked at the verse that I was talking about. I drilled down into the Greek, or well, not Greek, sorry, Hebrew, that's there. Um, I was able to drill down into the Hebrew that's there, and able to I guess convince myself away from making that argument. So it's like I made that argument once, and then I never went back to it because it's a bad argument because the data simply doesn't support it. And I think that that in a very small way, that is kind of what I'm talking about here. It's like somebody that's deep into the argument right now, that's making these bad arguments, or that is not convinced by hard evidence or whatnot. I think that the key for us on the other side of things, that have already critically thought about stuff and have come to a conclusion that more comports with reality. I think for those that have not caught up to that point yet, I think that we just need to keep ringing out that truth, like keep bringing that truth up, keep mentioning that truth to people, and we keep saying it until they themselves decouple their emotions from it and are able to with a sober mind take a look at the evidence. And I think that that has been sort of the thing that I've always done in my activism, is that I get that arguing about, but for the millionth time, how Jesus didn't resurrect from the dead, or how Jesus didn't fulfill any prophecies. Like all of that's beating a dead horse. But at the same time, if you stop sounding the, I say alarm, but like if you stop speaking the truth, then those people that have yet to actually realize that they are sucked into this narrative, sucked into a cult of personality, or sucked into, this emotional entanglement that they have, the moment you stop, talking about the truth, then they start getting lost in the fog. And I think that what we have to be is the lighthouse in the fog. We've got to be the ones that's showing them the way, to the shore, and guiding them, to the shore so that they can land safely. And I think that that's what we need to focus on, is continuing to be that lighthouse in the fog, because there are people trapped in the fog out there every day for any situation, not any one particular situation that could be going on right now, out there in the world of, believing false narratives, or somebody that's twisting things into, these horrible gaslighting 8-hour live streams, like in whatever kind of capacity, not mentioning anybody in specific here.
But there is like movability, like if we're connecting with people that are like right on the cusps, and you start to ask them questions like let's dissect this. Like why are you attached? Because I was making a little progress this morning. I was like, okay, let's do a little shifting, and like Bree was there, and that was so honey. Are we vague? Are we vague? Like have you met us?
Listen. Okay, that could.
You're married?
No, I disagree. That could literally apply to almost anybody out there.
Okay, literally anyone that's paying attention. I am gonna put it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have a moment. I'm gonna have a thought. Okay, like listen, I understand that like you all are attached. Like, and this is the thing, like about like the emotional entanglement, like the because like I'm dealing with this right now. Um, Another person that I really, really cared about, I found out like kind of broke my heart, and I had feelings, and I'm adjusting to what is my reaction to this. And I might seek support and I might feel afraid to seek support or whatever, but like that's my own brain. That is my own self, like projecting things onto other people because of my insecurities. That's me. That's a me problem. Because if people are showing up and telling you, hey, I love you, and I'm here for you, then you just trust it. But then, like, you are your own person talking yourself out of doing things. This is the same thing, except I don't, but when we're getting to the point where we're like, okay, I'm just going to complete, like, I'm just going to keep, like, holding on to this, but I won't criticize this person. I won't say that what you're saying is objectively wrong. That's the difference. It is like you are willing to critique them if they're being like unfair to themselves or others.
Right.
That's the difference. Because you listen to yourself and you project your own insecurities, your own feelings. This is how trauma works, guys. It's just you projection, and then you have to decide whose responsibility is it. And if someone is actively not applying their skeptic brain, but also if they're like, if you can find the motivation, then you gear the conversation into, well, why? And especially since those of us who come from, like, you've seen this, where if they come from a religious background, that is, and you felt this, you went through it, like, going through the adjustment of, well, if I this was I was supposed to trust, and this I was supposed to trust, and this I was supposed to trust. What do I trust now?
Right. And I mean, it can be difficult to suss that out, like who should be trusted in this situation. And I think that, people need to have a properly calibrated expectation of reality, right? And I would hope that people would calibrate that expectation in accordance with what the data shows. And like, if you find yourself out there trying to pretzel your way into explaining why something isn't like a bad thing, or why, this conclusion should follow from all this evidence that points in this opposite direction, I think that, being lost in that is natural, but also I think that having good supporting justifications for things instead of ad hoc ones, I think would probably benefit a lot of people right now. And by ad hoc, I mean just unjustified claims. Like if you find yourself out there, which the people that I'm could be speaking about, maybe I could be speaking about them. I don't think that they're necessarily going to be watching this right now. But for anybody that does care, like if you find yourself just making statements about somebody being wrong as opposed to having evidence that somebody is being wrong, that should be the indication that, well, what's the evidence that supports this statement, right? Like I can have like so much evidence over here supporting my statement, right? And if you're just gonna hand wave away all that evidence that supports that conclusion, then maybe you need to think about, what's wrong with that conclusion, like your own conclusion is what I mean. Because like if you're just going to hand wave away evidence when it should be evidence that's considered, I feel like that is a failure in methodology as far as critical thinking goes. And I think that a lot of people out there really need to recalibrate their critical thinking skills.
And also too, like, when you when you realize that, like, when people are like, hey, well, why won't you talk to this person? And I'm like, well, this person tried, and I'm like, no, like there's a thing though, is that like if you're aligning yourself with a bully, I'm sorry, you lost the plot. I'm like, that's a moral line. I am not
Mm-hmm.
crossing that line, because I'm betraying myself, and by betraying myself I betray others. Ha, Look at that. So I'm not going to do that. And if you can, and if the other people around me are like, this is the right thing to do, we do the least harm, that's what you do. And that means also to yourself. This is what we talk about boundaries, guys. This is a boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you have to be. And also, as a skeptic, you have to be skeptical of your boundaries, but not so much that you risk safety of yourself and others.
I totally agree.
Very simple. I don't understand why this is so hard. Like, are we talking nonsense? Please tell me. Please do an 8-hour stream about how me and John are talking nonsense. Do it. I dare you. Like it's so dumb. Like I can't. It's like insanity. I'm like, you were what? I'm like, do you have anything better to do with your time? Like, listen, I'm like, I love you all, motherfuckers, and I touch you guys all the time. But also sometimes I just want to play Clear Obscura and like drink wine and not exist in the stratosphere of like I love you all, but boundaries. Like I need escapism. I need to kill things in a healthy way.
Yeah. Casey in the chat there makes a good point. 8 hours for part one. Okay, so like half of the stream today.
Let's examine this. Go ahead, John. Examine. I want to hear this from your point of view because we were all like, as a woman and dealing with this from like the inner circle, like you're just one half. You're like a half a step removed. So I want to hear this from your perspective.
What specifically, like the obsessing to the point of doing like an 8-hour stream for half of a stream?
Actually, I'm going to play one more ad and then I'm going to get some more wine and then we'll unpack that because I actually really want to have this conversation because like it's been like, I love my girls. I love you all so much. But like this is like a little bit of like the little, like a half a step, from the inner circle. So I would like to hear your perspective, but I need more wine for that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'll indulge me for like half an hour more, that would make me very happy. All right, hold on one second. Because you've left early twice before now. So yeah. I'm going to keep you at least another half an hour. You have to make up for time, sir.
What's up, y'all? Mandisa Thomas here, inviting you to BN's 2026 Revival of Reason in Atlanta, Georgia. From June 12th through the 14th, join us at the Atlanta Free Thought Hall and Pavilion, where we will be celebrating 15 years of Black nonbelievers with food, fun, serious discussions, live entertainment, and more. Speakers include Chris Cameron, Candace Gorham, Detroit Atheist Queen, The Friendly Atheist, Godless Engineer, Cynthia McDonald, yours truly, and more. Get your tickets today at blacknonbelievers.org or scan that QR code below. Also, you can book your room at our special group room rate at the Comfort Inn, Atlanta, Smyrna. Official BN members get a discount, so please make sure you become an official member today. Sponsorship opportunities are also available, as well as discounted student rates. Thank you so much for helping us celebrate 15 years as Black nonbelievers, and we will see you soon.
We're back. Haha. That worked out well. I need like about just that amount of time for all my ads in the future because that's going to be like my mid break. And then I can go get a drink and a glass of wine and then I can chill shit in between. Good plan, Helen. I like what I'm a little intoxicated, so I'm brilliant right now though.
Yeah.
Okay. So John, come to theory. Here.
Yeah.
let's have a moment.
Yeah.
Friend to friend.
So, I mean, I find the level of emotional entanglement in every single word that people say to be an psychologically unhealthy thing that points towards mental instability. Not to be too armchair psychologist about it, but I feel like
as someone that has a psychology degree, Maya, are you still here? Maya has a master's in psychology. I have a BA. Hey, Maya, is a 8-hour live stream a sign of good, stable mental health for multiple days? And how many videos have we done? Let's take a moment. Is this the sign of someone that is using their skeptic brain? And has objective reality pretty good, pretty figured out, right?
Yeah. I get it. I that might be like kind of like a billboard thing, like yes, fucking of course, but I feel like
I'm just reminding everybody.
Well, technically, so there's actually the comment right after it is the total amount of time on that one stream that was done.
No. What is going on? Listen, I was like the other night, and I love you all. Like on a weekend, I don't mind sitting here a little later. But the other night, when my guests didn't show up, Rob and Miss Non Sequitur, Rob Palmer from Recovering from Religion, because I'm like, I don't know, I'm like talking to myself, and then we talked for a bit, and then Miss Non Sequitur came on, and it was 3 hours, and I'm like, I need to go to bed. I'm tired. I don't want to look at my face anymore. And I love to talk. I love listening to the sound of my own voice. Not everybody does, though. Like, unless I'm doing like I'm doing something for charity, and I'm like, okay, like watch me push through. Like I'm going to raise money. Like I'm not doing that. I have a life.
Right.
I need sleep.
But I feel like in the vein of what we're talking about here tonight, of sort of being non-skeptical and everything. Let's see, my question, John, for you: how do you feel about somebody being that obsessed with your wife? I mean, I'm obsessed with my wife, but I find that it's rather weird for
your wife. So
yeah,
silly.
I find it awkward.
But I have boundaries, and I love her genuinely.
Yeah. Well, so I think that's more of a healthier infatuation, whereas the thing that we're talking about is very much
okay. That is wait. Okay, no, that is 19. Holy fuck! Yep. What is wrong with people? Oh my god! Everybody needs therapy. Go to therapy, guys. please. Like go to BetterHelp. Like at least get someone that doesn't spend 20 hours on the internet a day perspective on like what is reality. Okay. Let's take a step back, guys.
Right. But I mean, I think that like you have, I guess, maybe a more like a healthier infatuation with Casey. Well, I'm talking about the unhealthy infatuation in that, hanging on every single word to the point where you inflate it by a factor of 3 whenever you're like talking to other people about it. And it causes you to be so irrationally unhinged that it's essentially just like an 8-hour screaming fit.
Like even yourself, like look at like everybody looks up. Your inner is reflecting your outer, Casey. That's your inner reality is reflected on the outside. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you?
I don't know, Helen. I'm not sure if maybe something got pulled out with your microphone. It sounds. Can you hear me now? Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I mean,
that's okay.
Sorry. What I was saying was, I'm just like one being obsessed with your wife. Like it is like with AJ as well. Like I'm like and Glenda, I'm like why? Why? Because these three are so done with you that now women are evil. By the way, I want to point out eat eat my ass, Jay. Eat my fucking ass. Thank you. Anybody else? Eat my ass. Anyway, sorry. I'm oh, I got so much feminist rage right now. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're
Sorry,
fine.
feelings.
I mean, I think that in the vein of the what we're talking about here, and engaging critical thinking skills and like being emotionally tied to certain positions or certain people or whatnot, I think that there's a couple different kinds. And again, I'm armchair psychoanalyzing, which I know is generally a bad idea, but I feel like I notice some commonalities, and I feel like there's one group that it can be like a more like they're more stable, like they have a more stable sort of cult of personality. They've been able to cultivate it and build it into a very protective sort of layer that insulates them from criticism, and because they have their like little minions out there that will stoop to their middle school level bullying, right? There's a stable version of this group that can exist. No one in particular. And then there's the unstable one, and I think that the unstable one is I don't know if it's gonna fizzle out like quick, relatively quick, because I feel like the stable version of this can last for years and build up and build up and build up. The unstable one is a lot like an unstable isotope, right? Eventually, it's gonna decay. Okay.
Right.
And I don't think that we know exactly when it's going to decay, but I can guarantee you that decay starts with inflating a 3-hour live stream into 19 fucking hours and screaming at the top of your lungs at people on your own side, or having a meltdown at every 20 minutes in your fucking stream, all because people aren't doing enough for you, because nobody is taking you seriously, or nobody's watching you more. Like, make it, you could tell these cults of personality, it's all about them. Me. Watch my stream. Do the things that I want you to do. Do them for me now. If you're not doing them for me, then you're not actually committed to the cause, and you deserve to be a pariah, right? Like, those are the kinds of unstable cults of personality that I think are going to end up fizzling out really quick, in a relatively quick amount of time, because it's so unstable that they start attacking themselves.
I agree, Casey. I agree because you're a nerd. I'm a demisexual, so I love a big brain. AJ loves brains too. Because brains are awesome. Anyway, go ahead. So are orgasms. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. But the thing is, though, like this cult of personality thing, like you were saying, I just want to say this real fast. Fast is that John has been doing this. How long have you been doing this?
14 or more years.
And what is your YouTuber subscriber account?
75,200.
Took you 14 years.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's because, yeah, and I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I've had to accept my slow growth due to how I present information and what information I go after, and how I present myself, because I made the decision to be an authentic person to myself. I wasn't going to change like how I acted or anything like that. Like, I turn up the knob a little bit, like I turn up the theatrics. Like, I'm very obviously, like, I don't go around my day job and like I don't do some of the things I do on stream, like, you know, pick up a banjolele and start playing some random song, right? So, I mean, I turn up the fun a little bit, but for the most part, like what you see on camera for me is what I am in real life. And that doesn't always play well, especially with, you know, the kind of crowds that are interested in the videos that most atheists make, right? And and this is not me throwing shade at anybody that has curtailed their content to be more palatable to a wider audience. I made the decision, and it's a decision that I wrestle with, you know, nearly every few months. A decision to, you know, stay true to myself and present myself as authentic as I can, instead of like changing my content to be more palatable to a wider audience, to like being more palatable to both religious people and atheist people, or even within the atheist community itself, you know, those that want like deep philosophical deadpan sort of delivery versus, you know, the people that just want dumpster fires all the time. I try to straddle that line in the middle, because me as a person is where I exist. And so Brocephus isn't real. Brocephus doesn't have a job. He's a bum. He just sleeps in the back room. He's been a bum for months. He hasn't made an appearance yet, but
he has a double PhD.
Listen, he's got double D's, not double PhDs.
Shit, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot. He has a breastplate. He does drag on the weekends. Professor says drag on the weekends for cash.
But I mean, I feel like
drag queen, like Profetious. I love it.
But these cults of personality, especially the unstable one, I think is going like if depending on how much pressure they're under. Oh, good. Almost had I know. Yeah, Brocephus didn't exist. That would be the worst thing ever. I get it.
Oh no. Oh, it's gonna be so bad when all those chaos goblins get together. It's gonna be so bad. In the best way. Like, yeah. But like, well, like it's this thing. I'm like as someone that has experienced the world as a queer, a neurodivergent white woman, living in the United States in the year of our Lord 2026. It's been wow, wowie, wow, and I think that because the more and more, like we all saw it with Gamergate, like those of us, like Bree was there, Casey was there, you know, us in our like mid, like somewhere in our 40s, we were there and we were watching all this shit happening when we were moving through the sphere, and it was a bunch of white men, and we were like, okay, well, and then you saw people that looked like you were like, okay, like there's space, but now these assholes. And then we were like, nope, can't have these assholes. And then we did some pushback, and we were calling each other out, and then we lost the plot. And now we're trying to get back. We're trying to be like, okay, like this was the goal. We were going more pluralism. Let's do this. Let's do this. And when you see someone that is espousing, saying that be a skeptic, but also only until you don't believe what I say. What does that sound like? Just saying.
Yeah. And as far as what's you know, current situations that are going on right now, I feel like the oh yeah, virtual tickets for $25 if you're interested. Oh, that's cool.
Tell them to click it. Tell them to click the QR code.
Oh yeah. So
yeah, tell them to click it. Ticket like real nice. I like something you can do with soft. Do that.
Yeah.
And you can go to blacknonbelievers.org, and you can also become you can buy tickets, and you can also give money, and you can also buy cool swag. So go buy some swag. I'm gonna be buying some swag while I'm there. I'm also gonna get my Black Non-Believers membership while I'm there, and watch and stream myself, like, joining, because I think that'd be cool. Because
Yeah.
I'll be like with my friends when I do it, and it'll be great.
uh, so Detroit Atheist Queen, I remember you contacting me about appearing on your channel for stuff, and I definitely would like to do that. Sorry, stuff gets lost. Like, I get so many messages,
But
I
you're
just
okay.
totally
So
forget
your
about
first
things.
official like initiation to her world will be on the live stream during Memorial
Okay.
Day, and then you'll just have to go, and you'll have to do their stream over there, and then and
Yeah.
all the cool people will go over there, right?
Yeah.
Because we know all the cool people, I think.
Yeah.
And also too, also as someone and this is actually a little bit more of a serious question. Um, as her spouse and as someone that's like watching her, go through this experience,
Hmm.
um, what has you have admired about her, and also what is the thing you worry about the most when it comes to her with this?
Um, I mean, what I admire about her is, just her whole approach. I mean, she's able to, correctly identify, how ridiculous these things are, and be able to look at it analytically, and instantly decouple emotion from it, um, and be able to like laugh at the ridiculousness, because that's what she's been doing. Like with the whole 18-hour stream or whatever in the fuck, like that's the most hilarious thing to her. The fact that a stream where she is going over in detail evidence against this person, painstakingly going over the detail in it, and hearing just the ridiculous gaslighting that's coming out of it, like that is the most hilarious thing to her. And the fact that she can laugh at that, I think that that's just incredible. I mean, I know it would frustrate me and piss me off, because I know I get pissed off in the moment. Um, I get pissed off in the moment when I'm like misrepresented, or somebody says something that I didn't say. Like, that really does make me mad, and I have to work to decouple myself emotionally from that. But KC, she's just able to do it. Like, she keeps a cool head. She thinks reasonably about stuff, and she thinks things out before she does or says anything. And like, I truly do admire that. And I guess maybe the one thing that I'm worried about for her, um, I guess it would be not so much like everybody what everybody is saying and that effect on her, but I do worry about any possible like IRL situations. And I mean, with my particular mixed bag of spectrum that I'm on, like, I overanalyze everything. I mean, I just recently did a 3-hour living yes,
Oh, don't
living
be
rent
insulted.
free.
Woo!
But
Just saying.
I
I'm
love you too,
kidding.
honey.
Oh, I love you too so much. Anyway, sorry. I think that as Todd's watched me go through it, and he's like, you are so fucking resilient. But it also, it takes an emotional toll a little bit on him, because he is a little bit more removed. Like, he hasn't been in the inner circle, so he's kind of like, he gets worried because he just sees me like, why is this guy like consuming your time? I'm like, he understands why, but the emotional closeness is different. It's more
Hmm.
personal rather than a little more widespread for me, because this is affecting multiple people that I care about. Like, he knows it affects people that I love, and he also loves, but a little different, in a different way, because we have a different level of friendship and connection, because we're all in the space where we're activists. My husband is a supporter, you know. Casey, unfortunately, you're more of an activist now, Casey. Welcome to this sphere. You get the honorary, like, fuck, I had to stand for Truth Crown. Hello. I know. I love you guys so much. It's been a trippy ride, I will tell you. And I'm very grateful for it. But like it's that thing where you like cuz like he hears the things that Jay says, and he hears the effect that's like he knows it's hurting me and my friends. Like, not hurting us in this like I believe you, you know, but in this like you are contributing not only to like trying to hurt us, but you were also saying like because we are these type of people, we are less than you. And especially from someone where like, dude, you should like maybe slow your roll, maybe, because like don't eat the leopards that will eat your face party. Maybe don't do that, sir. Never and never and never. Guys, never eat. As a reminder, never join the leopards with that. I said that completely wrong. I was trying to ASMR. Fuck it. So anyway, I'm sorry. It's been a week. It's been a ride, John. And I'm sorry. I put you like I have turned to a chaos goblin. I am.
No, you're fine.
I'm sorry. Like, hi, Mandy's is here. Hi, honey. Yay! I was telling John that I'm very excited about his talk at the event. Oh my God, words are hard. Anyway. Like, I'm very, because like as I said, like I'm on my like YouTube journey, and like I'm like, okay, I'm like, I need like the tiki talkies. Like I feel old school, and but also like how do I find that niche between like I want to get my content out there and I'm okay with slow growth, but also at the same time, how much slow growth am I okay with? You know, also I'm not young anymore. So like how do I like, well, how can Helen reasonably grow her channel? like let's be realistic. Like, but I like information presented from like by people that I care about, because I'm not going to sit through a YouTube video. I would rather hear from someone that like I know you're seasoned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if you're looking at for advice from me, but like, I know the thing that I've really focused on over the years is just doing.
I told him, I said, I might make this special access for like, if you want to hear John's song during the Black Non-Blazer event, I'm probably going to have like a cap of how much money you get to get in. And then I will find a way to keep track, and I will make sure that you have to pay so much money if you want to see the special thing. But if you don't you don't get to see it. I'm sorry. I can have limited access.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But so the one thing that I've really focused on throughout the years is doing this for the right reason, right? I've always focused on like why am I doing this, and what does it mean to me? And I struggle with that sometimes still. Like I struggle with, either because like YouTube is getting hit real hard right now with like what my views are down, like everybody's views are down kind of across the board, and it's really hard to know where people's interests are going, and being able to move with that and kind of adjust and adapt to that. And so like being able to discern that's kind of hard, but I feel like as long as you're doing this for the right reason and you're not doing this to like, gain notoriety or gain like massive publicity, which not to say that, people don't want to, achieve those goals. Like those can be goals of yours. But I feel like once you get to the point of sort of decoupling yourself from the wider community, I think that it starts to lose some meaning there. And I think that as long as you're doing this because you want to be doing this and that it means something to you, I think that success looks different for everybody. And again, I struggle with these things all the time. You can ask KC, like I constantly struggle with, constantly reminding myself of these things. But I think that success can look different for different people. And I think success for any one person is going to be as long as you're doing it because you want to do it and the content that you produce is something that you want to be produced and is out there. I think that's success in its own right.
I think
And
I like I'm not looking to make money. Like I have a job. Like
yeah,
if I make money, great. Like, give me like I keep saying I'm like I just want to play for my streamer card. I'm probably gonna get Riverside because it will the AI will do me shorts for me and I can also edit them and be like, okay, like I like this. Like I need a visual because like I'm not gonna sit there and go through all my content because my ADHD will not allow that. But I can be choosy. I can be choosy woozy of the message I want to get out. So that's the important part. Okay.
yeah,
But you have control. AI, like AI is a tool. It is a tool. And we have to be smart about how we use tools, guys. That's how that works. I'm going to say another thing too, on your point is that, I try to compare like, the parable of like of the starfish and there's a little boy and he's picking the starfish are on the shore and they've been washed up and he's throwing them back into the water and there's thousands of them up and down the beach and this old man sees the little boy and he's picking up the starfish and he's throwing it back into the water and he says, why, boy, like you can't save all of them. And he goes, well, yeah, but it matters to that one, and it, like that you're like, okay, like I want to make sure that like it matters, like you do matters. And like Liz was telling me, this was like we were in a chat and she was saying that like she went in to go pick up her drugs at a pharmacy and not only watches her content but watches mine and I random person. And I was like, because like I know a lot of people in the space, but like some random person watching my content, and I was like, oh, I'm like, well, I want to produce good content for this one person that's giving me attention because I love affirmation, guys. So that I'm cool. So I'm like, great, because it matters. Like it's not for like it is for me. I'm very selfish, but also too like I would still be on the internet having these conversations if I had like 12 viewers.
yeah.
Yeah, I would because they're important. Like I'm not doing 12-hour streams. Like I try to have a balance. I'm doing a little bit more content right now because I'm fundraising, but like I'm gonna slow down a little bit between NanaCon, between after Revival and NanaCon, I'm going to be just doing my regular schedule and then I'll ramp them back up for the Rocket City of Reason because, like you have a newer conference. So I'm like, yes, let's like go do the things. so that. Yes. I love attention. So validate me.
Well, I feel like your validate me is definitely like the right kind of like validate me there, as opposed to like doing 18 hours worth of content and screaming validate me at the fucking at the fucking screen or something.
Please validate me by choice.
Yeah.
I like consent is key. Even in validation, consent is key. Thank you. I will validate you as well. I like I will like if I don't like you, I will acknowledge you exist. But I'm like, but if you're cool, I'll be like, I validate you. I will notarize you. Like, I will notarize that you are a person that can sign pieces of paper. Great. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I just can't. It's been so absurd lately that I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? And and like again, as I keep telling people, the house is on fire and we're rearranging the furniture. Oh, that's gonna. Oh my god, that could be a safe word. You're about to go in for the whip, and you're like, "I will notarize you," and you're like, "Okay," I'm like, "Sorry, red light."
No. It's like you go for the whip, and it's like notary.
Notary. I need a notary. Can I sign on your dotted line, sir? Can you approve I sign this piece of paper? While I rub it on my titty. like what? What? Sorry. My safe word.
Honey, why you gotta let everybody know?
Right? Oh my god. I love you, Mandiza. I love you. This is why I love you guys, because you're just all a bunch of attention whores like me, and I love you. Okay, so John, show your shit.
Well, so I am John, the Godfather. Godless engineer. You can find me over at YouTube and TikTok. I do live conversation streams all the time where I get people to come up and have conversations with me about God, whether or not Jesus existed, all that kind of good stuff. I used to do response videos regularly. I only do them occasionally now. But and then if you're looking for more political and current news kind of content, you can hit up the Godless Engineer Facebook page. I post there regularly about news like anti-Christian nationalist stuff and just basically whatever's going on in the news cycle, and taking a very comedic look at that because if we didn't laugh at this point in our history, then we would just be crying all the time. And I feel like injecting some laughter into how ridiculous our current situation is. And so if you want that, please go over there, check that out on Facebook. But other than that, that's pretty much who I am. I'm just a big shit talker on the internet, and I hope a 24-hour stream gets made about me for this.
I hope so too. That'll be fucking fantastic. And also, yes, I don't need 10 hours. I need 5 seconds. Hey. Hey, Jay. And any of you sycophants, you all are cranial rectum inserters. And good night. Bye.